That's why I say sometimes you have to be careful what you do, take precaution to protect yourself. Don't earn never mind, don't get into legal trouble. When it comes to CPIB, they ask you to interview 1 day there. I'll job, I'll tell you what. Then every right you stay in my how many days? You can't do anything. You are locked up. Alright? So don't get involved because to me not a very, very pleasant experience. Right? Okay. Next thing is say that shall not receive royalty of any patented article or process unless authorized in writing by an employer. Okay, as an engineer working in the industry, whatever new thing you discover doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the company. Be careful. Whether related to the job or not is immaterial. Everything you discover belongs to the company. Don't say, I got a new invention, I resign from company, then I patent. Be careful. If you patent in less than 6 months, the company can claim that the patent belongs to them. They can go and file a legal case. Right, so that's very, very careful. Okay? Unless the company says, I don't want to patent it. But the company can keep as a trade secret, then you have no point. You have complaint, right? But if the company are not interested in your project, then you request permission to patent it. In writing, no verbal. The company must agree in writing, let you patent, then you can patent it. Alright? So simple as that. As an engineer, you are a professional. So there's no much bargaining power, right? Okay. 3 says it says shall not accept a position when compared to profession duty. What do you mean now? You know that sometimes government wants to form a commission to study some history study or some project, right? So if your company intends to tender for the project, then you are completely different. But being a member of the commission, I can steal the writing or specification to my company. That's why this company has been careful, right? So if the company intends to bid for the project, normally we decline the funding. Or you find that the chairman thinks that your experience is needed, then you seek permission from chairman for the company to be able to tender for it. But even if the chairman agrees, people may perceive conflict of interest, right? Because of that. So a lot of people will come to decline. Unless formed by chairman, then you make clear. But even then, people still talk about it. Right, so it may not be good issue. So I say that if there's a perceived interest of a common interest, try not to accept the family. Try to get away from it, alright? Okay, 376 shall not disclose confidential information you can't consent, alright? Very important now. If you do consulting work or you do a work in the company or ever document the company pass away is confidential. You are not to talk outside the company. Because the company can go after you, alright? Number 3A is about the same thing. It says, shall not use information is obtained confidentially in the course of assignment from personal profit. Suppose you work at a company and you know the company got one big project, right? Don't buy the share. Each other selling. Because that information is not available outside our organization. Right? That's how we interpret, right? So the clause itself can be very neutral, but interpretation are very clear. Right? Okay? Number 9, the same thing shall not divulge any confidential findings. That means when you engage as a consultant, don't tell your colleague what I have done. Very serious. Never discuss your project with any colleague. So sometimes as a consultant, you have time packing. You're bothered by all these groups. Confidentiality, not divulge information. So if you are busy, you cannot talk to anybody about your project. Alright? Okay. 310 it says, shall give best professional judgment. That means best on my ability. And people find that basically you hide a lot of things from the country complain to people, right? You did not do your best. Okay? And then 311, the same thing, advise engaging expert and specialist in this. That means the area under consideration is beyond my expertise. I cannot advise you. So I will advise you to engage expert, right? So in my report, I will specify these areas are outside my expertise. I will advise you to engage another specialist, right? Normally we put that in the report, right? Okay. 4.1 it says B shall not supply professional engineering services in respect of any project which is acting as housing developer. It's a complete interest. Housing developer job is to make sure I develop the project as cheaply As an engineer, professional engineer, I make sure the project is built as safe as possible. When you say keep means cut corner, right? As a PE, you are not allowed to. Okay, make sure the thing is safe, right? Okay, public interest. Very interesting. Huh? Is it notwithstanding the responsibility to the employer and his profession, a PE shall act in time with regard to the public interest? That means public safety concern. If the thing violates the public safety, you're supposed to tell the company to do it. If the company don't do it, you're going to appeal to DCA. Alright. Easier said than done. Huh? If your boss wants to do it, you're going to force the boss to do it. Huh? After you're going to do the job. But under the clause, you're supposed to. So it's contractually agreed. The law says you must do it, but if you do it, nobody will back you up. So you find out a lot of whistleblowers have certain things. The thing is not right. They whistleblow, but they lose the job. That's all. Facts of life. Huh? Nothing right or wrong. Huh? You think I hope principle, but so what? You're going to suffer with it. Right? So always say that think carefully before you do anything. You're going to face the consequences, whatever you do, right? And nobody will pity you, right? And nobody will help you, right? If you lose a job, what can I do? I cannot provide another job, right? I'm not able to give you money. I don't have the capability actually, right? So you find that that is always a serious problem. A lot of unintended happen, but nobody will bring up because it's very simple. Who wants to get fired suddenly? Right? So you find that no organization will employ you if you whistleblow appeals. Let me show you. Right? Why a company put itself into a danger now? That my company may some position may not be right. Because whistleblow is going to diminish my company's reputation. So for that reason, if you whistleblow one company, next company will not employ you. They have a fear, right? Whether I do right or wrong may not be very substantial, but you blow up, it becomes very damaging to my company, right? So whistleblower normally will not get a second job, huh? Alright, so very careful, right? Okay, number 6, it said PE shall not knowingly attempt to supplant an MP. What do you mean by that? Okay, so any project normally involve engineer must have a PE, right? So if you have a project given to a PA, as a PE, I cannot come and take over the job. Unless the guy agrees, let me take over. That means the guy in written form said, I so agreed, let you take over this job as a PE. Then you take over. This is the protect interest of the PE, right? Because sometimes the PE may not be agreement to the client. Because the PE wants the client to do something and the client feels the two, especially not going to do it. So the law says that you cannot fire the PE on this ground, right? Unless you negotiate PE. Can you please remove your appointment, I'll pay you certain money, and I'll get someone to do it. Unless the previous PE agreed, then another PE will take over. Otherwise, no, right? So a client also sometimes have power. They engage a lousy PE, they stop with it. And if the PE don't give way, the whole project will, correct? So that is sometimes unfair to a client, right? Okay, number 7, why the same thing? He said a PE shall not undertake a commission for any person for any claim for compensation or damages or both by an PE previously employed and whose employment has been terminated or remain unsatisfied. There is argument going on. If you know about it, don't attempt to take over the job. And don't attempt to take any job that's ongoing. There's no such thing as don't PE. There's a type of PE. Unless the guy signs a letter of on issue that you are going to take over, correct? Otherwise, the PE that you replace can compare to PE board again. And PE board will revoke your license, alright? Okay? It's the same thing called. The first one warn you don't take over, the second one says the previous PE can compare to PE board, alright? Okay, number 8. A PE shall not canvass. That means don't write letter to the company ask for a job as a professional. You can advertise your service, but you cannot write to the company direct ask for a job. Alright? As a professional, you are limited by that. You cannot write to company A, B, C ask for a job. I specialize A, no. There's no such thing, not allowed, alright? Okay? Okay. Clause 9 said PE shall not be a medium of any payment. Why? Corruption. If I offer to pay for my boss, I may pocket some money, right? So this clause says that don't be a medium of any medium for payment, for whatever reason, alright? Okay, conflict interest. A P shall not prepare or submit or offer to prepare or submit a design without informing the client as to the nature of the connection, if a construction or manufacture of the work in question. I suppose I order some supply for my client. Be careful. If a client is related to me, I declare to my client. So I said, if anything, whoever supplies your goods and services to a company, if related to you, you have to declare. Declare means that you tell the boss, I'm not going to do evaluation. You get someone else to evaluate. I'll be out of the loop. Alright? Then you carry over this conflict interest. This conflict interest is very broad. Alright? Okay? Okay, you say that 11.3 said accept a request, a client, please shall not offer to design any work. Second opinion. The client has every right to ask for a second opinion. But if a client don't ask for a second opinion, don't offer your service to him. You are not allowed to. Right? Because if you offer your service, you supplant their engineer, right? Okay, that's the meaning of it. But the client has every right to ask for a second opinion, but not to make you as a fee for the project. Right? You're not supplanting, you ask for a second opinion. Alright? Okay? Number 12, A, assign due diligence to ensure that the whole conversion meets ethical principle, right? That means you don't give instructions to your people under you to do illegal things or unethical things. That's what I mean, right? 12B is almost complementary to A. It says that if you observe something that is not right and ethical, you're supposed to report authority. Alright? So always say that don't do unethical things as well. But if you report, be careful, I say. If your charges of unethical is not proven, you will end up with a legal suit for defamation, right? So I say there are two sides of coin. If you want to complain, make sure, I feel sure that your charges speak. If there's any chance that whatever you charge is not proven, then you're going to ask for trouble, right? That's why I say whatever you do, you have to. So nobody can advise you. Because you are charged for defamation, who can pay for you? Nobody, right? That's why I say that whatever thing you decide, think carefully before that, right? Okay, part 2. Okay, part 2 are individual salary. Okay, if you work in a company after salary, you're not called salary person, right? If you work in a consulting company, your job is to do consulting work. Consulting is part of the job. You don't get extra money. A consulting company will never allow you to take any job on your own. That's simple, right? If I'm moonlighting, whoever tell whether in my office time, whether I do your job or my job for me. So you find that mood coming won't do it. If the problem is good, they give you bonus as well. Right? So what I say, unless you're given authority by your company, then you're called salary person. It's a given class. Now, for example, anywhere give us permission to consulting work, right? Whatever money I earn from consulting work belongs to me, don't belong to UC. Except I pay 10% for using of the equipment. Right? You call levy. So the earning goes to me. I have to report to income tax as well. Right? So if you don't report, I say corruption. Let's be careful. Very keen line. And you must have permission. Don't permission also corruption. So you're authorized, you mean that you must follow a procedure, right? Apply for permission. Okay? Then you say that one do the same thing. Unless authorized by your company, otherwise you're not allowed to do any other job, alright? Okay, it says if permitted by employer confined to consultation on appraisal or engineering for which he has special qualification not inherent or available in usual engineering practice, means not many people outside can do it. Alright? And he shall not establish office. So my office is my office. I put care of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. I cannot put Department of Mechanical Engineering. That is not my office. It's my mailing address. So care of means my mailing address. It's not my office. Be careful. So that's why I use the care of as a separate mailing. It's not my office, but you can, the email can reach me by this address as well. That means my office is the depository. Deposit letter, that's all. So much. Right, so be careful, right? Okay? 1.4 shall not use influence of a salary position to direct client to another PE. So normally don't refer a job to your another friend. Why? Very simple reason. Common practice engineering. If I refer a job to you, normally you pay me commission. Normally 10% what you get. It's normal practice. If I refer a client to you, normal people expect you to give me some benefit. 10% what you charge. That's common. So because of this, the law says that you are not supposed to do it. Whatever law says, I think people do a different thing. As long as nobody complains, you're okay. If they complain, then they may take action against you, right? So all say that you have to help people. So do whatever you want, as long as we caught, you're okay. Right? I'm not advocating you do it. Be more conscious, right? Because your working life is very long. 10 years down the road, people may complain that you don't know, right? So whatever thing you do illegally, don't vote. May not put yourself in good state. If they complain, then the board will haunt you this one, right? Okay. Okay, number 2 is very interesting. A PA shall not, for the purpose of obtaining any permit, license, or approval of any part or service line, any plan which is not verified by the office. So many years ago, I was sitting in the investigation committee, right? Now, what our case, our case, or we didn't have our case, right? Before our case allowed to operate, a PE must sign a letter of undertaking to Minister of Manpower. Simply stated, I personally supervise the erection of this tower crane and certify its fit for operation. Right. So when tower crane collapse, where got such a fit for operation, right? So once tower crane collapse, one be gone. So the time the M1 complained, after charging the PE in court for negligence, M1 wrote to PE board to ask him to revoke the license. Right? He said that he did not assign due diligence. Okay. But interesting enough, the PE wrote to M1 explain why he didn't do it. It's like very simple, right? He said, I charge very low for this project. Therefore, I don't have time to do such inspection because I charge too low. To me, that's serious. It's not like the undertaking. Now you want to put a letter, what I think you are cheating. So lucky for him, M1 did not complain that he's cheating. You see, the rules of investigation committee very simple. Will act on a complaint. If you don't complain, other behavior and no right to investigate. So the M1 complained that did not accept due diligence, look into that as well. Lucky. If M1 complained that he cheated, and then we look into the charge. It's more serious. So to me, I think M1 let him go quite like him, right? But he found guilty because why? Very simple. That time when he already done, the project already over by 6 months. So there's no evidence we can see on site, right? But M1 take photograph with it. The base plate he take in the cover plate, the thing weather on the base plate, right? But base plate itself is rusty. So how can you wear a metal piece on the rusted plate and it will not stick? So in the end we found guilty because of that, right? But of course, we do not do the calculation. Actually, someone did a calculation, you find it's under design. But since the thing is not charged under, we're not going to do it, right? Very careful. Your committee work is bounded by the term of reference. If it is not referred to us, you have no right to investigate. So the guy got 1 year suspension because of it. Okay? So 1 year suspension, then years suspension. You know what you do now? Once you got a suspension, M1 will look after you. That means anytime you submit, M1 will be very careful to check your plan. And M1 special one more thing. Whatever you endorse, you need enough fee to endorse your endorsement. That means you pay another guy. Make life different for you. Anytime you submit, they will see on it. People get 1 week approval, you will wait at least 2 or 3 weeks to get approval. So in a way, who will engage you on it, correct? So all that, then be careful. You block the law. Repercussion can be very serious, right? Okay, business standard Okay, British standard is saying that does not purport to include all the necessary provisions. You all back on contract, right? Okay, British standard has this clause, indemnity clause. It says compliance with a British standard does not of itself offer immunity from legal obligation. If they are true, don't come blame the BS. They are not responsible for the interpretation of the code, right? Singapore standard also the same thing, have this form of law, right? It says that compliance with the Singapore standard does not exact user for legal obligation. You know what contract is? Contract one is more special, more stringent mention the code practice you have to comply. Right? Contract is contract. Code of practice is a guideline. Alright? Okay, so you see that basically all these code practice there are many. Even your credit card also must conform. Okay? So is there these various code of practice variable, alright? Code of practice for installation, operation, maintenance of electrical goods and passenger leave. Also there's a code, right? So, okay, I think that's all, right? Okay, thank you.